Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Friday, May 12th. We got a lot of really interesting news to cover, interesting stock ideas. First, let's just look at the macroeconomic situation. Start with that bank list. But look, I'm still very bullish indices short term, even though I am extremely bearish macroeconomically. All right, it's weird having those diverging views, but I cannot deny the technicals. I've been saying for a long time now, the QQQ and SPY technicals are really great, and I'm not going to fight that. But because I worry about bank risk and black swan events, I've been hedging with gold and Bitcoin and PSQ and TLT, but none of that seems to be working right now. But look at this. PACW is at a low right now, and I don't think this is over. PACW, something's going to happen there. Maybe Zion's going to be next. We'll have to wait and see. But look, it was like 5 weeks in between Silicon Valley and First Republic. So it might take some time until the next shoe to drop. But in the meanwhile, the market looks good. So I'm long, like 85% long or something like that right now. All right, let's go to specific stocks. There's a lot to cover. We do have Vegas coming on at 9:15 a.m. So we'll probably talk to her more. We'll get back to these big caps. You're getting big caps at the top of my list right now. That's usually not the case because there's a lot of strong catalysts and sentiment and story trading style opportunities. And actually, my highest conviction ideas are in the big caps right now. So I'm going to have to cover at the top of the show, and then we'll go back to it when Vegas comes in 9:15. But Tesla, all right, Tesla. Here we go. Elon Musk hiring a new CEO for Tesla. This is huge. You know why it's huge? Look at the chart. It's huge because of, well, when was it? Whenever this big dip was, this whole thing here, I think it was up here. I think it was this one right here. Yeah, from like 191 to like 100. I think this was a dip, or maybe it was even up here. No, I think it was 190 to 100. But this big sharp dip was because of Elon Musk buying Twitter and concerned that he's not going to be focused as a CEO of Tesla. That's why that happened. So now you have to get the reverse. Now it's at a higher level, so you're not necessarily that you're going to get like $70, $80 to the upside. But what you can say is you're going to go to the next moving averages. That's easy. That is easy, okay? So the targets here, first of all, you have a gap fill. Let me just go to the tag. It's easy. Look at this. Here, last night I said this in my inner circle here. 174.43 was the high that you had to break, and it did that. Once you break 174.43, you go for the gap fill right here at the bottom of this candle, which is 177.65. It's going there. But this is like a foregone conclusion in my point of view. It's going to 50 DMA at 179.55. So that's what you can say. You can say this catalyst, which changes the sentiment, right? This catalyst, which changes the sentiment, will cause the technicals, will cause these bars to go to the next key levels and that next moving average. This is such an easy story trading setup. Okay, so that's the easy, that's the low-hanging fruit. But I got to say, there's a possibility, especially because QQQ is bullish and this RSI is relatively low at 53. I'm not talking about today, but there's a possibility this can break 179 and go much higher in the next few weeks. But the easy money is from right here to 179. Easy money is really from last night when we first saw this, when everyone first saw this, to 179-ish. So that's Tesla. Now, Google, Microsoft. I'm a day late on this, and kind of shame on me for not paying more attention to Google Bard. We got that on day one. We made a little bit of money when, right here, you see that spike? So we're like, okay, Bard AI is being released to everyone. That's great news. Boom. I didn't do the research Wednesday night to really see what's in Bard AI. You can see a lot of other people did. That's why you have this big gap here. Bard AI, in my opinion, is a ChatGPT killer. All right. There's so many threads on it in terms of what it does. It's like 100,000 times better than ChatGPT, like fully integrated into Gmail and Google search, is connected to the internet. I mean, it's just so superior. Look, this is easy. I'm sorry, but look, Microsoft, this whole big move, all right, was because of ChatGPT and the expectation that they're going to get market share from Bing, which is going to be really helpful to their company, obviously. And you can see yesterday, when Google gapped up, Microsoft gapped down. Now it got bought back, but I think this is a sign here that my thesis is correct. Just as we saw money moving out of Google and into Microsoft, that is now reversing. Isn't it beautiful how like sentiment moves like trillion-dollar companies the same way they move like $50 million companies? I love it. I just like, don't tell me the market is about fundamentals. Yeah, fundamentals, you got to know about it. It's one pillar. It's important. But all of this movement you see in Google, Microsoft throughout the year, like 90 catalysts, headlines, and the perception, the sentiment that creates about what's this mean for the company in the very long term. Stuff you can't even put in a financial model, really. All right. And this is how the market works. So anyway, this is what's happening. I actually think a good play here is long Google and short Microsoft, but it would have been a lot easier yesterday. I'm a day late, admittedly. All right, I didn't do the research, but I don't think this is a one-day story. We saw Microsoft moving up for weeks, and it had pullbacks, and every pullback was a buying opportunity because of that ChatGPT tailwind and that Bing tailwind. And I think Google is going to be the same thing. I don't know if it's going to go up today, but pullbacks are going to be buyable on this, right? Slowly, that thesis that Microsoft is going to take Bing share is going to go away, and people are like, oh, they're not going to take much Bing share. Google's awesome, all right? Like, it's going to reverse. That's my thesis here. So my idea is long Google, short Microsoft. BABA, another story trade idea here. We had a couple catalysts. One of them was China CPI. You see this big gap here? That was China CPI coming in light. And then that same day, yesterday, we got a news story that they want to do an IPO in Hong Kong in 2024, right there. Alibaba in talks to launch IPO in Hong Kong in 2024. So those two catalysts were enough. We called it yesterday for a move to the 20 DMA, made the move to the 20 DMA. Now it's pulled back this morning right on the 20 DMA at 86. You can see it. It touched it. It's a little above it now. I think this is a pullback buying opportunity. The MACD is flipping. The RSI is relatively low. I think there's a pullback buying opportunity, the 20 DMA, and your target's the 50 DMA up there, close to $89 on Alibaba. Wow. I'm never into big caps as much as I am today. This is great. Tesla, Google, BABA, I like them all. Microsoft, I don't like it. Those are the big caps. Now, speaking of current events, I was wrong on another thing. I'm sorry, by day. GOCXW, I thought Title 42 would end Wednesday night at midnight, meaning early Thursday morning at 12:01 a.m. Thursday morning. But I was wrong. It ended actually at 12 a.m. Thursday night, which is like 12:01 a.m. Friday morning. It was a day wrong on this. So GEO and CXW, they've come up a lot. And I did say like the risk reward's kind of tougher here because it's the top of the range over here on these technicals. But there's a possibility you do have one last spike in GEO and CXW based on the news and the current events today. Today is the day, not yesterday. Today is the day we may see the drone imagery of people running across the border and things like that will be hitting, CNN and Drudge Report and going around on social media. And that might be fuel for one additional pop on these Title 42 stocks, GEO and CXW. All right. Again, it's just risky because it's already been moving big. The time to get it was when it was out on Twitter, and I posted it when the Texas deployed like their National Guard to the border. It was like right there. It was like at 7:50. So anyway, a tough one at this point. SIGA had news. Not only is SIGA, more current event news. MPox is back in the news, okay? MPox is back in the news, and you can see the move up. Technically, you can see this had resistance at like 620, maybe 624, 626 area, and it looks to be breaking out this morning. Just technically, maybe $657 in play. But you know why it's not just this. The fundamentals are good. They had earnings a couple days ago. I read the transcript. First of all, there's like a huge misconception with this company and huge opportunities. The short position is 9%, which is ridiculous because people think this is just a monkeypox stock. They're not a monkeypox stock, okay? The monkeypox gives you headlines and gives you sentiment moves. They're a smallpox stock, okay? Most of their money is made by selling vaccines for smallpox, and they stockpile governments for that, and they make like hundreds of millions of dollars a year in revenue from that. Now, this is interesting. It's the same drug that they're using for smallpox monkeypox and smallpox. They're using it off-label, by the way. It's not even approved for monkeypox, okay? But check this out. They had $8 million in revenue and basically break even, lost a penny. But if you look at their conference call transcript, you'll see that for the remainder of the year, they're looking for like at least another $130 million in revenue. So you're going to see the revenue skyrocket the rest of the year and the EPS skyrocket. Why? Because they have to restock expired drug for smallpox that the United States Strategic Reserves they keep. So that's expiring, and they have to do, and they have to fill that up again. And that happens like every year. They're like refilling people's stocks. And yeah, this quarter was down, but they're going to have huge EPS, and they're constantly giving dividends. They're constantly buying their shares back. This is like a great stock, probably to sell puts on, because the downside's not there. Those shorts are crazy. This 9% short, it's not happening. This thing's not going below $5. The fundamentals are too good. The dividends are too good. The stock buybacks are too good. And now today, you have monkeypox back in the news, reemerging in some cities in America, causing it to break the 620 level, 650 to 7 level on SIGA. DWAC, we told you about that yesterday for those wacky people who like to trade worthless stocks. But anyway, DWAC is in the news because it started running when Trump said he's going to be on CNN. This is what this whole move is about. Trump is going to be on CNN. Depending on whatever you think about him, it was a high-profile event for Trump, and he talked about Truth Social a couple times. It's like, I'm not going on Twitter. Come to Truth Social, right? So the primary season's kicking into high gear, a lot more visibility, and that's why people are buying DWAC. I'm not buying it. It's too risky. No fundamentals aren't there. This is probably going to go to if the deal doesn't happen, which is very highly likely, then the downside's less limited. It'll be like $10.25, I think. You'll get cash when the deal doesn't go through. But if it does go through, it's even much worse. It's probably going to go to like $2. All right. Anyway, so that's DWAC for you. And the technicals look good, and it might fly. And that's great for people like that. RUM has earnings on Monday, by the way. So I'm not playing earnings. I don't play earnings. I'm not playing earnings anymore unless it's a long-term stock, okay? In terms of swing and day trading, we avoid earnings. Earnings are on Monday. It could be good. It could be a surprise. It's going to be sequentially down. They already told us that from last earnings call, right? But they told us that when there was still some time left in the quarter. And guess what happened right after the earnings call? Trump was indicted, and traffic to Rumble exploded. So they're going to do a little bit better than their guidance for Q1, okay? And Q2, I think the commentary is going to be very good for Q2 because we're basically back in political season, and there's a lot of action going on Rumble, and traffic's picking up. So I think it's going to be a good report, probably. But I'm not playing earnings, and we'll see. Rumble, great one to sell puts on. High premiums, and the dips always get bought on that. All right, let's see. We had a bunch of earnings reports. I got to move fast now because we have Vegas coming on in a second. SMSI was basically in line. If you heard the Zoom, and we have it in our archives in our app, you can see we did a whole session with Brian Perlis, who knows the stock inside and out. This is a potential 10-bagger stock. It hasn't turned the corner yet, okay? But Q2 or Q3 will be when it really shows in the results, and then this thing can be a 10-bagger. So SMSI, interesting story. All right. AUGX just had earnings. It was in line, okay? It was in line. The stock is kind of flat on this. There was some anticipation yesterday at the end of the day. I really like this for the long term. I don't know that it's going to run today. There was a conference call at 8:30, maybe going on right now. So maybe there's something said in there that's more bullish. I can't tell you about that, though, okay? But AUGX actually like this for the long term at this point with that HCA contract, the HCA relationship, I should say, the guidance to get to profitability without needing to raise more money, AI healthcare play. This is really cool stock, AUGX. Here's a risky one. I'll get to, I'll skip SEDX. I'll come to it last if I have time. All right. DRIO had earnings yesterday. We listened to the conference call. And this is a key level. It needs to break. The big news out of this is July 1st, Aetna's launching. That's new information to most people. Wasn't new information. StoryTrading knew it. But July 1st, Aetna's launching. Okay. So maybe this can make a move into this whole big gap area over the next few weeks. And hopefully Aetna's going to do a press release sometime before July 1st and we get going. All right. PERI, I'm a little bit worried about. And you can see what's the volume on this because of Microsoft, this whole Google thing. If Microsoft is potentially a short idea, maybe PERI is also. And if PERI was up at 40, I'd say sell it right now, take your profits, and short the stock. But because it's down here at 34, I'm not as confident on that. But I'll tell you, I have much less confidence now that we're going to break above 36 and $36, these two moving averages, because of Google Bard that we talked about. So changing my opinion a little bit on PERI. So be careful with that if you're in PERI, but the fundamentals still really look good. They raised by 2%. The guidance they gave had nothing to do with Bing. They said Bing was all optionality upside for them. So hopefully this won't get hurt, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Market's not stupid, and sentiment moves stocks more than anything. So it's possible this has a tough day, but hoping it gets to 35 so we can get out of it on PERI. Sting, I still like. It's moving towards our target. It's done great yesterday. That was our best play yesterday. Easy play with them buying back 3.5% of their shares. That was crazy news. But right there, that's the target at the 200 DMA. It's pretty much there. RSI relatively low. Could it break above it? Yeah, but XLE, USO has been weak because of recession concerns. Energy has been weak. So I don't think I'm going to make a bet that it's going to break the 200 DMA. So just watch that. It's close to the target. Real quick, because we're late, we had earnings on ASXE, AGRX, EAR. These are stocks that Tony from the community loves. I'll say ASXE was a big miss, in my opinion. The Carl Stores deal didn't happen yet. It's behind. AGRX was mixed results in terms of top and bottom line. You can see there they missed, and still revenue is kind of low. So I don't think there's anything to write home about there. EAR was a big beat. EAR was a big beat on both the top and bottom line. The problem is they're burning so much money, and they guided to basically continue burning so much money, and only have 3/4 of cash left. Not the kind of stock I want to be in. Okay, it might explode. It's probably a huge short position, 9%. But no, I don't want to be in that, because the place to be is in stocks. Companies, they say they have enough cash to get to the other side. If you don't have enough cash to get to the other side, you get punished. I don't want to be there. All right, so with that, let's bring on our good friend Vegas. If I can find the right buttons to press here. My gosh, here we go. Good morning, Vegas.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Usually I don't talk about big caps much until you get here, but today for me is big cap day. I love my big caps. I started the show with Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Baba, and they're actually my highest conviction ideas for the day. You know, the catalyst and everything with Tesla and Google. What do you think? What do you like? I like Tesla, Google, Baba long, and maybe Microsoft short, but tell me what's on your mind.
You know what? I like Google still for the continuation. So definitely the levels, today in particular, very important to watch this level over 117.60. If it breaks, which looks like it will do it, we could see, potentially 120 today. So that looks good.
Wow.
Tesla, great news. Finally Elon Musk hiring a CEO for Twitter, which means he can focus on Tesla, which is what the shareholders want. And, today, the fact that it's over 175 looks great. And, I spotted yesterday some weird action during the day. And I said to myself, something weird is happening with Tesla. And then, of course, 4 or 5 hours later, news came out.
Oh, wow. So someone knew the news. Someone knew. Wow.
Yeah, somebody must have known the news. I was watching, like the stock wasn't doing anything. But all of a sudden, I saw some weird action, some weird option flow come in. And the stock was like for the 175 calls. And I thought, that's a weird strike.
It pays
and
to be
I thought
connected.
the volume was pretty big. And I said, something might be going on here with Tesla that they're buying this 175 call. And of course, boom. So when I saw that, I took the 170 calls myself. And then of course the news came later in the day. So that was a really nice trade. And the contracts were not even expensive at the time. So it's definitely 175 looks great. It's holding up quite well this morning, and looking for Tesla to go towards 178.70. So that looks really good. Amazon looks good too. Amazon has an AI team that they're building. So they announced that they're building a team for AI. So, still connecting with the AI theme. And, Meta looks good too. Meta had a nice little gap this morning as well, but needs to get over 239 to make a move here on Meta. But in the meantime, Google, the main focus. Google, I would say great. Tesla looks good. Baba, nice for a swing trade. So all of those look really good for swing trades. All three of those that you've mentioned, Tesla, Baba, Google, all looking really, really, really good.
Awesome.
So some other ones I'm watching too is CAT. CAT construction looks really strong, and it's over this 210.83. So this looks really good towards 215. So CAT looks really
Oh,
nice.
yeah, you're right about that. That's a
Mm-hmm.
nice candle over here. That open red candle is like, could be a reversal candle yesterday.
Yeah, it looks really
Head
nice
back
here
up
for
to
a
that, yeah,
continuation.
215
So, I
level.
mean,
You're right.
the chart doesn't look the best, but
No,
the
it doesn't.
daily looks good for
That,
a
yeah,
move.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Microsoft, I know you mentioned you're looking to short it. The only thing is, right now, for me, Microsoft, we also had huge dark pool print yesterday come in on Microsoft, over 2.1 million shares. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money. Okay. So when I see money flow come in on a stock like Microsoft, I have to pay attention. So I'm not bearish yet,
Okay.
unless the stock, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, unless it went under like 306.25. And it did have a 52-week high the other day. So it's kind of tough to short a strong chart. But then again, look what happened to NVIDIA. I mean, it was so strong that its stock just pulled back. But, NVIDIA is still overall very strong. And we have catalyst this month too for NVIDIA. Got earnings this month. It's been having inside days all week.
It seems like NVIDIA, I totally missed the boat on NVIDIA when the whole ChatGPT came out. It seems like NVIDIA is the ultimate AI play, because it seems like all of these companies, they're using their chips for AI, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what?
Yeah.
We have a catalyst this month too. We have the earnings and we have the event in Tokyo. So we have definitely a catalyst coming up on NVIDIA. So got to be ready for that one. So we'll look at that one as well. That's going to be a top watch this month.
Company. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm excited.
That's pretty much the list.
I like
excited?
I am. I'm excited because I like my big caps today. Usually I like poo-poo them and I look for like smaller caps. But today I just love the big caps. Tesla, Google, Baba. Let's go.
Let's go. Did you mention to me before SWAV? SWAV?
No. I've seen it
okay, yeah.
Twitter, but I don't even know what it is.
That one's really like Shockwave Medical. It's been really strong, and it's been an explosive chart.
Ooh.
That's more of a large cap stock, but I mean, it's in the medical space, it's done really well, and it's looking phenomenal.
Yeah, I've seen lots of tweets on that coming through the last few weeks, but I've never researched it.
It's been a really good one.
All right,
so that's pretty much my focus is going to be Google, and obviously be focusing Tesla as well, but just going to stay focused on just two. I can't focus on all of them, but like two good ones, and those two are really good, Tesla and Google for sure.
Sounds good. All right.
Thank
you, Vegas.
You guys have a nice weekend. See you guys Monday. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.